a milestone event occurred at Daytona that had nothing to do with Richard Petty. After over 50 years as an announcer for MRN, the Motor Racing Network, play-by-play man Barney Hall called his last race. Now, Barney is a beloved figure in NASCAR and so well respected, the NASCAR Hall of Fame named an award for media excellence after he and Ken Squire. Late last year, Adam Alexander sat down with this legendary broadcaster.
2 laps to go there in turn number 1, Barney Hall. Pearson shuts it down. This time he's about 3 car lengths back. He picks up a little distance. Dale Earnhardt is the leader by 2 car lengths. White flag for him as they work back into turn number 1. If Kyle Petty's got anything left, he better get with it. Here they come to the stripe. Richard Petty's STP Oldsmobile. Waltrip dives to the inside. Petty almost put him off in the grass, and Richard Petty will win the Daytona 500.
Barney, it's good to sit down with you and have a conversation about your career. I've been doing this thing for 54 years, so I want to know where did it all start?
As far as getting into racing, it was just the luck of the draw, I guess. Went to Bristol one weekend, right after that track had been built. And Big Bill France was there for the race that weekend, and I was doing some PA for Hal Hamrick, who was the track manager. And Big Bill come over and he said, boy, who are you? I was scared to death of Big Bill France. Everybody was. And somebody said, you ever interview him? I said, yeah, I told him right in his navel that we did so and so. He was that big. And I told him I worked at a little radio station or whatever. And he said, well, we might have a place for you in NASCAR. And it just kind of started from that.
$1 million ride for Bill Elliott here this afternoon. 361 on the board. Here he is across the line. And if you were here, you could hear the fans screaming in the background. They've been doing it all day long.
Talk to so many people about you and your approach and the way you come across on the air. And the one common word that always comes out is smooth.
Earnhardt is using every inch of racetrack, and Elliott gets together with him. Earnhardt goes off in the grass, brings the car back onto the speedway, and keeps it in a straight line and holds on to the lead. Unbelievable.
Where did you learn that? Is that a natural gift, or did someone along the way share that with you?
I guess Ken Squire, if ever I tried to be like another announcer to a point, it would have been Ken Squire.
8 laps to go in the Speedway in the Pepsi Firecracker 400. Cale Yarborough just rides along. The slipstream of Richard Petty's STP Pontiac as they move into turn number 3. Cale just biding his time.
One of the great moments in the history of the sport happened at Daytona when Richard Petty got his 200th victory in the summer race. Ronald Reagan was there. Remember much about that summer race at Daytona?
The one thing I do remember is it's probably the worst call I ever made.
Richard glanced down to the bottom of the racetrack. They are door to door in the dog leg. They touch coming to the tri-oval down to the line.
Mike Joy was in the booth with me. I was standing up. I wasn't sure that Richard had won. Really couldn't see it, the angle I had.
I can't call that one. It is so close.
And Mike jumped in and picked up the slack and said, yes, he has won his 200th race.
It's Richard Petty by a foot. Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
I remember I felt so bad that I couldn't just get it together and call that race. But a half a dozen people said, hey, man, where you're at and where you're looking and all the traffic that's down there, you're lucky to call anything. So that will probably bother me till the end of my days that I was not able to make the actual call. And I just said, it's too close for me to call.
Again, Joe Moore, Barney Hall, and Jeff Striegel high atop the grandstand here at Martinsville Speedway, getting set to roll. Race 7 of the chase. Barney Hall, there's a lot of pressure on a lot of people down there today.
Yeah, not just the drivers, but the crews out there. They've got to make perfect pit stops down here, and the guys who figured the strategy, they've got to come up with the winner here also this afternoon.
You've been doing it for 54 years. What's been keeping you in tune, and what keeps you going for that long period of time?
I guess insanity would probably, no. I can't believe I've been here that long. I really can't. I just feel like I've been so lucky to be able to do what I enjoy doing for a living and to meet some of the best people in the world.
What would be the perfect ending to this long journey, Barney?
Somebody asked me here a while back, said, 15 or 20 years from now, what would you hope people are saying about you? And I said, well, I hope they're saying, damn, don't he look good? So if I can go out the door and still have my faculties and be able to call a race and know I've made a lot of friends in this business, that's good enough for me.
Here we go at the Martinsville Speedway, and for the start, the Motor Racing Network's Barney Hall.
They're looking for the American ethanol green flag. It is about to be displayed. It is in the air, and we are underway here at Martinsville this afternoon.